Okay, so this is the rest of the code. So from up to here you know how to find the logistic regression and then how to find the odds ratio. So here again from this part what you do is you are finding another odds ratio for a different logistic regression. This is this is the logistic regression and the odds ratio for the non-additive effect. This non-additive effect, I don't remember in theory what is non-additive effect. So I guess the professor has to say to find he has to ask you to find the non-additive effect, I think, or otherwise you can ask him if you have to find the non-additive effect or not, because I don't remember in theory what's non-additive effect. So here up to this point, when you finish up to this point, your table will be in the beginning your data table will be like this, right? So this is the phenotype and genotype columns, and here before finding this next odds ratio you have to get another column, because you here when you go down the table you see there are 1, 2 here in the genotype there are zeros in the beginning and there are ones in the middle, and again there are twos in the end. So there are 3 values, but the computer, when we do the non-additive effect thing, when we do the logistic regression, the computer only checks 2 values. It's like yes or no, it only checks that. So here we have to convert our table which is having only 2 values like yes and no. So here with the non-additive effect and the odds ratio we are doing that. So before doing that we have to change all these values into 2 values like 1 and 0, not 0, 1, 2. We have to change it to 0 and 1. So to the phenotype. So what we do here is first we are changing the genotype into ones and zeros. So this line is for that. This check is another column. We are making another column which is containing only ones and zeros. So here what this line says is make the column variable check, and at this data frame, this you have to type the exact same thing, data.frame. This says this again, if else you have to type what it does is here it checks if, I will explain this line again. What this says is if the genotype, if the genot is 1, then add a 1. If else add a 0. That's why this if else is there. So again what this does is it prepares a column name checked. It's like if the genotype is 1, add the 1 into that column, else add the 0 to that column. So here again check data frame if else. In the table logidat, here you see our table is named logidat. In the table logidat and in the column genot, if the value is 1, add a 1. If it's not 1, then add 0. So that means in your table for all the values which has 1, it will be adding, in the new column it will be adding 1, and for the zeros and the 2's it will be adding 2. So there will be a new column creating as check. So if you do this, if you type this and run it, and now if you check your table logidat, now if we check logidat, it is not showing yet, I will show it later. So there's a column created with ones and zeros now. Hope you understood how to get it created. So then there's no name in that column. First we have to write a name to that column. So here what we are doing is we are adding a name to the column we created here. Call names, you have to add that. It's the function call names check. This check is our new column, right? So for the column check, we are changing the name. This C has to be there. We are adding the name as head. So if we run this too now, that this line will create the new table with ones and zeros, and the name of that column will be head. So now if I click here Logidat,